was a very bizarre moment. I had just come out of the pool, and then I got in the shower. And after I got out of the shower, I had a towel around me, but I was going to my locker, take the towel off to put on lotion, change, etc. And just at that moment, I was the only one in the locker room at the time, except for maybe an elderly woman who left right before this male came in. He came in, um, and I knew immediately, I was like, that's not a woman. I mean, they were dressed as a woman, and they, for whatever reason, came directly to my space. And I just immediately knew that this was not okay, and I wasn't comfortable at all. And I just sort of, in a moment of anxiety, like grabbed all my stuff. And there are bathroom or like closed changing spaces. Like I had to go around the corner to get to it. So when I went around the corner, I went in there, I just locked the door and I changed and I got ready and I calmed down. Um, I was waiting for this person to leave the space. They lingered in the space for at least 10 minutes, which also made me wonder like what they were doing. Like I'm sure maybe they were changing their clothes, but I don't know. They were also like in my space when there was plenty of other room and all other spaces. Um, so when I eventually heard them leave, I came out, got my stuff, I left, and then I went up to the desk, the front desk, and I asked the man behind the desk, I said, "Excuse me, but are you now allowing men who identify as women into the women's locker room?" And I think this person was on my side, actually. But he said, "No, that's not the policy here." But then he kind of had a moment where he sighed and rolled his eyes. And I knew then that this either has happened before or this is something that's come up at some board meeting or some staff meeting or something. Um, and he said, "No, we have a designated locker room for people who identify as the opposite gender, and that's called the community locker room, which is so this is the women's locker room door, and this is the community locker room. They're literally right near each other. The men's locker room is over there." So I was like, "Okay, well, if you have that locker room, why don't they use that locker room?" And he just went, he couldn't answer me. So he said, "Here, take this card and please contact the director of the Y." So it took me like a day or two to finally get a hold of this person. I had left a message. This person has since resigned, that particular director. But I spoke with him. He was not at all sympathetic or compassionate to my situation. Uh, he basically said, "Well, you could go to whatever other gym you want in New Hampshire, but it really doesn't matter because it's not a law."